Hmm. Well. It seems that maybe there might be some audio issue coming in for Eagle. Nonetheless, guys, no worries. I will welcome you all. Thank you all for streaming in. It's going to be BattleXO Regional South India League, and
Yeah,
we'll be heading into the league stage, guys. At the end of the day, it's going to be Group Number D that we will witness today. So I guess, Eagle, you
yeah.
fixed your audio issues, and again, we'll be jumping into these games real quick. But before that, talk to me about the previous few days as to how things happened and the way everything unfolded. Because you've been here, it's my first day today, but you have been through the ups and downs of all of these teams.
Well, of course, we'll talk about the past days, what all happened, how all the team played,
Mhm.
how they moved on, what was the chaos, what are the clusters over there. But before that, again, I'll welcome you once again to the regional battle South India, presented by BattleXO and Esports Exo as well. But before that, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll move towards the event structure. That what will be the structure. And now coming to the event structure, 5,000 underdog registration, which was really very great. Then 64 South Indian influencer teams, in which four will qualify from each group. Then again, T2, T3 orgs, four will qualify from there. And finale, grand finale between 24 teams, four influencers, eight qualified underdogs, four organization, and eight invited teams of T1 will be competing each other in the grand finals.
Absolutely. And again, the grand finals is something that all of these teams will be looking forward to. And just as you mentioned about the underdog registration, I know that it's still going live. So at the end of the day, we're going to quickly check the format out as well, since we just saw the structure. And now we're going to see the current format of the stage. We had 64 teams, of which 16 teams were divided into four different groups. And only four from those groups will be qualifying in for the grand finals. Now, we've already had 12 teams qualified, right?
Yeah.
We've had three groups playing their matches. And you also mentioned that we always have this one or the other team coming up in the last or the second last match, which you normally do not see performing well, but somehow they pop it off. And just like the previous 3 days, looking at the schedule right now, we're going to be having the group number D today, Eagle.
Well, yes, 20th September, group stage, Group D, and well, this will be the last day of the group stages. But finally, we'll be moving towards the overall standings as well. We'll be looking towards the overall standing of the last day. How will the teams perform? Well, these are the four teams, OG and YT with those 54 overall points and 33 finishers point. They were very great, you know, very impressive in the matches. Then Asaf Gaming in the last game, they anyhow managed to get the qualification with some extra finishers point. KMC Comban, well, they got the third position with 45
Absolutely. You
points into
also
their
mentioned
backpack.
about. Mhm.
And Mammoth
Right.
Gaming at the fourth position with those 43 points.
Absolutely. You mentioned how Salman Gaming were also playing really well. Even to the last game,
Yep.
they tried their level best but could not qualify only because of those 3 points. And it clearly shows that how competitive these matches are, how important it is for every single team to perform in all of those matches. And again, we'll quickly be moving forward to the participants of group number D, the 16 teams, of which only four will remain standing for the grand finals. These are the 16 teams in front of us, and
Yeah.
every single one of them is going to perform really well. And again, you always find one or the other team somehow just outperforming everyone else, and then there are just a couple of consistent teams who secure second and third spot, but that fourth spot is the one that's always uncertain, Eagle.
And of course, a fourth spot is always very difficult. It's always very challenging for especially for the teams lying from those fourth position to eighth position, even at the fourth match of the day as well. But we'll move towards the prize pool. We'll move towards the chaos of this particular event. Why we are fighting here? We are fighting for this prize pool breakdown. Well, first position 20,000 INR, second position 15,000 INR, third place will get 10,000 INR, and the most valuable player, if I talk about, 5,000 INR. It's a great breakdown, if I say, scared, because you have a great chance to be most valuable player if you're not there in the top three as well.
Absolutely. And then again, how are we going to figure out who is in the first place? That is by the point system that's going to be followed up right now. With every single chicken dinner, you get 15 points bare minimum. Those are the possession points. Second place is going to get 12, third will get 10, and fourth will get 8 points for themselves. Fifth position
Yeah,
with 6 points, sixth position 4 points, seventh with only 2, ninth to 12th all of them will gain 1 point each, and 12 to 16 would not gain any points. However, there's one most important thing, Eagle, that
yep,
every single kill will get you 1 point each. So let's just say you've got a solid game of 10 kills and you end up getting the chicken dinner. You will be grabbing that
great game.
25 points, and these are
Yeah,
the points that would be really important, especially in those fights, in those battles when you are fighting for the qualification, and then you just pop off in one game, grab some amazing kills, secure that chicken dinner, and end up somehow getting at least second or third on the table.
indeed. Well, in the last days, we saw how the players played. Well, it not only works on position point, or it not only works on those finishers point. You have to keep a balance. You have to keep a mixture of those place point and position point. Because if we'll talk about Shabir Gaming and Salman Gaming, well, these two teams were very lethal yesterday in the first two matches, but after then, I think they were not that good. But coming about the today's map schedule, well, you know, what will be the map schedules? How will be the players playing? Well, the first match of the day will be of the by default game Wrangle, then the massive Miramar, and in the terms of Edge, well, Edge is not here, but Sneaky Sanok, and the fourth map, well, again, Wrangle will be there. A great game. If I say, I would love to see the game after the two matches because Sanok and Wrangle are always a table turning game in the past, from the past 3 days.
Absolutely, because there are some teams whose Erangel is really solid, and for most of the teams who've got a solid Erangel map, you always expect them to have a very solid Sandhog sense as well, because the rotations are kind of similar, but nonetheless, you know that Sandhog is very small as compared to Erangel and Miramar. It's such an open map. You've got so many plays to work with. I really love the fact, that some of the pro players they decide to go in with the M4 whenever they're playing on Erangel or Sandhog, while
Yeah,
they kind of switch to Scarel whenever they'd be hitting the map of Miramar. And the reason for that is when you're on that long range, all you need is just two headshots with a Scar only to get a knockout. While on Erangel and Sanok, you want to get that spray in, right? Because you know that the players will be kind of closely compact in those spaces. So you've got some good room to work with. But nonetheless, everyone's been waiting for the game, and we will be going live. We'll be checking out the play-in path real
yeah.
soon. But focusing back on the map of Erangel, we know every single team have got their drop location set. So what are you expecting today? Maybe some drop clashes coming in, or maybe all of them just going on towards those different locations and just farming up their loot and then fighting it out in the following zones.
Well, from the past days' experience, as far as I have seen, well, these are the underdog teams. Well, there's no specific drop location.
Mhm.
What I have seen, many times Pochinki is vacant, but Primorsk is filled with those 2, 3 teams. Many times Georgiapol is vacant, but if I talk about Novoripnoi, that is filled. If I talk about Severny, well, that is vacant, but Rozhok Waterset is filled with those drop clashes. So it's always a surprise in the
Mhm.
first match of Erangel that, where will be the team acquiring the drop clashes, where will be the rotation clashes. But if I talk about the map of Wrangle, few drop locations are like Yasna Polyana, Primorsk. Well, these are always fun to watch, but without wasting any time, ladies and gentlemen, please hold your seat very tight because the first match, the first map is here, starting from those northeastern parts of the region and ending towards those southwestern parts of the region, a diagonal fly path. I think 60 to 70% drop location could be covered. But if I talk about, Novo Ripno, if I want to go there, if you want to go Milta, Papa, or Livboka, this will take some more time and some more difficulties as well.
You're absolutely correct on that fact, but still we are seeing some teams going towards the same direction. You've got some roads up ahead, you can grab a few vehicles for yourself, and we always know how important these vehicles are. After all of these teams, they just want to grab them, have some extra cover, as well as we're seeing some early engages going in. already towards the side of 70 as above the church. Paradox OP, they're trying to get some shots in. We've got a couple of teams standing right there up against each other. We might see their contact real soon. But if you look at the circle, I mean,
Yeah.
half of it is actually in the water. And regardless of the flight path that we've had, it's entirely a southern oriented circle wherein most of the teams would have to go in for the rotations. So we might possibly see some of them actually sticking to the boats and trying to enter through that southern side.
Well, team number 11, Team Alexa Gaming. But at the same time, guys, you can see a pop-up around there. BattleXO download now. What is it? You know, I'll introduce to my co-caster as well because it's his first day, so scared. It's a platform. It's a stage for especially for underdogs built by
Hmm.
Esports Exo, where you can come, you can play
Okay.
T3, T2, T1, different tournaments, different event, different schemes, scrims. You can learn from here, you can earn from here, and you can build a esports career out of it. This is a platform, especially for underdogs. But from where you can download, you can scan this QR code, and if you don't want to scan it, you can download it from Google Play Store if you have an Android device, and you can download it from a App Store if you have Apple device. Well, I'm not that rich, so I'll
Oh,
download in my Google Play Store. Scared, what about you? Have you downloaded it?
I mean, I didn't have any information regarding that, but now I definitely will download it. I've got a couple of devices, so might as well just use both of them and then create a couple of IDs, because I definitely want to participate in the tournaments and win some amazing cash prizes. Plus, looking at the competition out there, you
Yeah.
also have a chance to team up with other players and then you can create your own team and fight in these tournaments. So that's one of the perks as well that I've heard about that application. So might as well I'll give it a shot 100%. In the meantime, we're talking about giving it a shot. A very long rotation coming in from Castro Gaming's team as they're now finally going in for their loots, and all they have are just a couple of guns. While if you are watching at the Severny yet again, both of these teams, Doctor Gaming as well as Alexa Gaming, are in that near vicinity of each other, wherein just one peak can be detrimental for your survival, as all of them they've barely got some armor set up in. So this fight can actually make or break the entire game.
Well, of course, the first blood. We are still waiting for the first blood to come in. These two teams, if I talk about the two teams, well, it will be Doctor Gaming and Alexa Gaming. Well, let's see. The name Doctor, will the name justify the player's intent as well? But talking about a vast region, Yasna Polyana. It's always a tougher task in Yasna Polyana because we all know it's a very big region, very vast region. And when there is only one or two
Hmm.
teams, you need to have a pretty good plan that how will you move in? What will be your strategies? What will be your momentums at those early phases? But now, as far as I can see, players are more focused on their loot, getting a better amount of loot. Level 2 helmet, level 2 vest will allow you to get into a close range fight. You know, you can take those close range fight with level 2 helmet and vest very nicely. But
Hmm.
the heart of Erangel, poaching key, well,
That
this
is
is a good region.
absolutely correct.
Silent
That is
region,
true.
I'll
But
say for now.
Yeah, no early skirmishes, any early engages of that sorts. We still only have 14 teams remaining though, because we're seeing at least some of them fights being taken on. Paradox OP just has been taken down. We just saw it in the kill cam. While if you're looking at the Puchinki area, the entire area is just being looted by none other than JK Gaming. So they've got the full control of it. And whenever you talk about Pochinki, you always expect at least a couple of teams to maybe land there, have some drop clashes. But nonetheless, talking about a clash, as we're already seeing between Dr. Gaming as well as Alexa Gaming, that's underway. We're seeing the first bloods being drawn in already. Team Alexa Gaming having the upper hand. Paradox OP was taken down, but still low on HP. That's going to be
Oh,
another spray being connected. His sets being taken down, and this is trouble for Dr. Gaming as they really need some bandages to help them out. Since they're down to only last two remaining players, they have to stand their ground no matter what. They have to take down AG. If in case they fail to do so, it's going to be really problematic as Legend is just so far behind, playing in far off flank position, and I mean, does not even have a very solid angle as of now. The bullets no
Yep.
more available for AG, so he still has got his shotgun remaining,
Oh.
and somehow he gets taken off, standing out in the open. Finished off by BattleXO with a solid angle on the rooftop. He was the one who was taken down first, and is already another engage into his own building down on the stairs. 0 HP. Will he win the trade? Yes, he will. As he gets the knockout and also secures a finish point for his team. Look at that HP. It's
Oh.
so very low. He's got the first aid, so he will heal himself back up. But it's just 3 people now, and that's going to be
Paradox.
another spray down. Fireboy went up on top, chased him out, finished him off, and that's only one member remaining now from Doctors Gaming. That's Legend, and he's nowhere near it. But I guess Alexa Gaming probably has an
Uh-oh.
idea. Yeah, they're going to go in for that spray down. They want a full wipe out, all 4 points being secured early on, and Legend just in a very precarious position. I do not think so he'd be able to survive from this.
Well, I guess it's gonna be very difficult. Legend, he need to do something. He's trying to create those smoke artificial cover.
Oh,
Well, Scarl with that 4x is trying with those EMP45 as well, but I guess it's AG07. He's getting a
HP?
good cover fire. He's getting good cover fire from the behind, from his teammate. Well, this grenade could make a change. Oh,
Oh
Legend,
my god.
Legend. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. I don't think he's having any other option, but there you go. That was a great grenade. That was a great teamwork, I'll say, from Alexa Gaming and Team Doctor. Well, they have been eliminated.
Absolutely.
They have been eliminated from the game at those early phases. And if I'm not wrong, Scared, they are the first team to be getting eliminated. But at the same time, the QR code is here, guys. You can scan, you can play, you can earn, you can learn, you can grind. But there you go. It's again a new fight coming in. Team number 10. Well, this is Kickstart Gaming coming in with again team proposing boom bam big. Whoa, what was that? This was really very quick. Within a snap, with those DBS shots. And I'll tell you, Scared, from the last 3 days I have been watching, this weapon DBS, well, this is playing a very vital role in each map, in every game. When this is troubling the player of the team having DBS is always having an upper hand and a plus point.
Now, here's the thing about DBS, right? So, whenever you're using that shotgun, you know that even though it's a shotgun, you still have a decent mid range. So you can take that fight. Like if you're standing in a window and there's any person outside the window behind, certain ledge or something. If in case you can see their head, you can just drop those couple of shots onto their heads and they will be taken down. So, whenever you look at any kind of shotgun, you just feel that okay, if I maintain just a certain distance, I'd be safe. That's not the case with DBS. Plus, whenever you're going in for that rush, you know you're gonna fire 2 shots in that burst, and as soon as it comes out, even if one of them connects, you know that in a close battle, you always bet on a shotgun. So that's the reason why DBS is being used a lot. And for the players who cannot actually grab a DBS, they tend to go with an S12K because it's also a kind of semi-automatic shotgun. You can just burst fire those 5 shots quickly. So it depends how quick your tapping speed is. But even after that, just as you mentioned, DBS is a very detrimental tool, especially whenever it comes to those Russian slam-ins and those close fights in some enclosed area. DBS is the one that's the gun that you want to go with every single time. But for now, going forward with this another skirmish possibility as Katsu Gaming is around the team of Kadam OP, who already have secured a couple of casualties, and there are still 1-for-1 trade for both of these teams. 3 people remaining. The spray down is already there as Mukil tries to get something out of that nothing. He's got on a very solid angle from that side, and that's one person you were trying to place your bets on if you were Kadam OP. But it's been taken down, and every single one of them are now falling like skittles. Rex Bull in the water will not survive for long. That's Catsi Chan still standing strong, and they somehow managed to secure 2 finishes off of that. It's only Jadu OP remaining, and his days are numbered. We already know that. He will be hunted down and
Oh,
finished off.
well, he's still trying. Jadu is still trying. He gave some damage. Well, down to ground. It's always a disadvantage. It always, it is always very difficult for you whenever you are at the ground. A disadvantage. But Molotovs will play a prior role here for the opponents. Jadu is moving. He's trying to go up. He's struggling. But again, well, here you go. He's been taken down. And Pablo is the last Lone Ranger surviving for the team. But I don't think so. He's very close at team number 12. And Pablo is very far. I think he's
Yeah.
backing off from the fight,
He
which is
is
a correct
nowhere
decision.
around that. He's like, I'm out of there, bro. I'm not staying there at all.
Well, I guess that's a correct decision. If you're staying out, if you know you can't compete at this moment, I think you're trying to get, placement for your teammates. But Rhino Machine OP and Nexus finisher has been taken down by him. This is the stage 2. There you go, some
Oh,
amazing shots have been coming in. Nexus! This could be a close-in battle as well. Nexus is very close, getting a good cover fire from UTA
Rhino?
3Y. And Rhino Machine is barely surviving with the 1 HP. And there you go. He's been taken down. No more survival. But oh, what was that? If I'm not
That
wrong,
was a very solid
UTA
cover fire
3.
coming in from the team of Rhino, as all of the players are now jumping in to save his own life. And at this point, Zed just quickly tugging the tails, going back to the safety with his own team, as they need to give a revive as well. So that they have to take care of
Yeah,
their own teammates now, as since the situation is 4v3 and two of his teammates have already been taken down. So he, this time Capper quickly goes in, will get the res in, and the question is, what's going to be the result of this fight between both of these teams? As Raisu Gaming
yeah.
are up against taking this fight, and they are being rushed upon by none other than Engineer the Gamer YT. It's just so very difficult. In the meantime, we're gonna quickly see Destro's POV as well, as he is in the close proximity of Mayur Gaming and already has figured out their position. So this fight could also make or break their own situation. However, Excess Sube, he just seems to be in a very problematic situation. Is trying to get the smokes down to create some covers for himself, as Rhino is gonna cook up those nades, already down to last part of his HP.
Okay.
Still gonna try to survive. DBS in hand, but will he get the knock?
Oh,
Yes, he definitely will. That's the power of DBS. Quickly secures a finish point as well for his team. As already one member of his team is down. He is the last standing man. Capper trying to survive. Get some HP back with the first aid. That's going to be Rhino getting some shots in. That's a very solid angle to hold, but only if he can connect those shots. That's the question. And again, the angle is still being held by Nexus. Will it be the boon of Rise to Gaming? That's the question,
no,
as
no, no,
no,
no, no.
probably seems to be the answer. One of them taken down. Last man standing, Capper. Again, nowhere near his teammate.
Well, again, you don't want to be in the fight anymore. He'll fall back and trying to get those position points for the team. Well, let's see. For how much more time will he survive? 54 seconds are left here to come inside the zone for a new zone formation. MGT is live. Well, if I talk about team number 5, Mayur Gaming, 4-man standing, no finish point, having a decent loot. A good defense system, level 3 helmet, level 2 vest, and with the DBS is always very impressive. But if I talk about the zone formation, the zone is totally shifted towards those southeastern part of the regions, Query, Primorsk, Ferry Pier, and those open grounds. The most of the ridges, the most of the depths are in the Wrangle are in these parts of the regions. And yes, this would be really very difficult for the teams because this game will go towards Miramar. Those ridges and those depths will prepare you for Miramar. But team number 11, it's 07 OP. Well, they are preparing themselves, and finally they are prepared. New next target is taken down, looking like a 1v2. I don't think so that will be possible. He's been taken down. The last player, Staxi, is standing here, and he's backing off. He's going. He left his teammate. Okay. Okay, Neonex. Well, they will chase them. I think they'll chase them.
I mean, You can say that he could have stood and fought, but just look at the situation. He's the last man standing at this point, and Team 5, they're just not letting him go whatsoever. So, Staxi, it's better if he now plays for the position points as he's the lone survivor. So, you know, Mm, apart from the first zone that we saw, every single zone that we've come across has basically shown us multiple fights between different teams, and most of them have still this exact same idea that if we lose a couple of people, probably three of them, then we just decide to send one person off to play for the position points. So it clearly shows how important these position points are for these teams. As for now, team number 10 going in forward near team 12. Katsi Gaming in a very difficult position as one of their members is extremely low in the HP and is the point of target. While the rest of them, you can see that they're all in this, C formation where all of them have got a hold of a different compound and can see a different angle. So even if Exynos Gaming decide they want to try and force a fight onto one of them, three of them are just gonna go in for that spray down, and they will be able to take them down. So I really appreciate this kind of positioning because they can also go in towards those compounds to quickly give the revive in if in case one of them falls. Apart from the fact that if any of those people standing on the edge falls, however, Rodrigo probably trying to go in for a couple of finishes as well as catches one person from EU Gaming off guard. They'll quickly get the finish in as well. Capper, who we already know is the last man standing for his own team, is holding that one compound. In the meantime, what you guys do not have to hold on is the fact that the application of BattleXO is available. So scan this QR code or go on the Google Play Store or maybe the App Store to download that app. If you want to play in these tournaments and you want to become a pro player, you want to have a chance at that, quickly download the app, register yourself on it, and you can also find some teammates to play along and join these tournaments for those fights.
Well, yes, sir. Team number 12 very close. Even team number 10. These open scenarios fight are always very difficult. You should have a vehicle or these smokes. The way Bolt Boy is utilizing it, very impressive. Those artificial cover will allow him to hide, but will not allow him to hide from those vehicles. But anyhow, he'll manage to reach towards his vehicle and finally he can back off. Yes, they are backing off. They're trying to get the position inside the zone. Team number 10, X-Nos Gaming. Four men standing. They have got those four finishes point. Early start is very positive, but meanwhile at those another region, Mew, he's been taken down. Kichu, very close to their enemies, having a MP45 with that M416, a good combination of close range and mid range. Well, Tyrant Gaming, the Tyrant burst out, but there you go. Kichu has been taken down. Oh my god. Team number 9 is looking in trouble. Mad Femboy, the Lone Ranger surviving for the team. Let's see, will he able to clutch it out while he's sitting in the vehicle, trying to bluff the players out there. But again, the revival is going on. Well, they come in looking like a 1v1. Some cover fire has been given around, but I guess the team has been limited. Yes. Maddox Zone, well, they have been eliminated from the game, and a new zone formation will come alongside.
Maybe Janil from Paris Gaming is probably deciding that he needs a few more items before he wants to jump inside that blue zone. Now look at the zone. It's literally centralized, just a small southern shift. But most of these teams are outside of the zone, and you can see them in the pair of twos taking a fight with each other, and none of them just securing a space in the zone. So these teams who are now going in early will have an advantage. But there's also this problem of being pinched and being sandwiched. They have to worry about that as well, as we are quickly seeing two of these teams probably going to take on each other in query. They've already lost Thakur OG, so I do not think so they want to go in for any additional fight. In the meantime, Capper, since we already know he's the last man standing, has secured a compound inside the zone. So that he could play a spoiler, and he could be a very well spoiler in this situation because there are so many teams around him. He will probably have a chance to secure
Oh.
a few more position points as well as finish points, because looking at his position, it just seems pretty solid at this point.
Well, I guess this position is really very great if you're holding the position inside the zone central parts. I think you're very lucky, and your zone production is also very good, but I think you will be the eye holder, eye catcher, because every team, every player will challenge you. But talking about team number 8, well above the ground. Down the ground, I guess it's another team. Well, they're trying to create grenades over there. And Neonix, well, again, multiple teams are here almost as I can see. 4 teams are here. Team number 5 is coming in. Team number 8, they have to be really very prepared because 2 to 3 teams, it's looking like a third party. It's looking like a cluster building over there. Capper has taken down Mayur Gaming. JD's Live has taken down Capper. Trade is coming in one by one. Team Mayur Gaming looking in trouble. JD's Live, the Lone Ranger surviving for the team. Oh, was barely surviving those few HP. Revival must be given here, but above them, it's team number 8. They can take the advantage. I think Killfeed, well, this will play a prior role here. Let's see.
Absolutely. There are probably 4 or 5 teams around each other. They're just so very close. In total, 6 teams remaining, 19 players still standing on their feet. And just as you mentioned, MG's position definitely not very good. And that's going to be another pick-off coming in. It seems that Team 10 is the one that's got a very solid positioning as they again going for a slam and get one more knock. And they still hold the edge of the zone. They're not currently exposed towards the upper side, but still team number 6 just jumping in, trying to support their own teammates as he's got the DBS in hand. Will he get the knockout? And no, he does not. Vampire tries his level best, gets taken down to his knees, and it's only Tyrion remaining, but only for so long,
Unlucky.
because as soon as he jumps in his buggy, he's spotted and taken out. That's another win coming in for their side. And looking at the position of Team 10, holding one edge of the zone, they've got every other team just in front of them. So all they need to take care is of Blind Mana, who's just been knocked down by Roriko. And Roriko is playing as a spoiler. Last man standing, he'll be taken down no matter what. As already Bold Boy has got him in his crosshair. Loki, he was on his knees, gets taken down, and look at the HP.
Oh,
DBS in hand, only for so long he
Bold
might
Boy.
stand. Gets a few shots from right side. Destro still trying to support his own teammate as his own HP is so very low. Tries to make a smoke wall. Creating that wall is most important. As already he's the last man standing for his own team as the knocked out person gets taken care of. Team number 10 is the one who's got all the control that you can think of.
Bold Boy. Well, what is he up to? He took those 3 finishes point within a snap. Okay! He is not gonna stop here. Well, that was an amazing grenade. 5 finishers point within a snap, within a blink of an eye. Well, top 2 teams, top 6 alive there. Bold Boy again coming in. Just looking really very confident and aggressive, moving in with that M416 and 4X. A great combination with the DPS for the close range as well, but not looking that strong right now because I don't think so that these pine trees will play a prior cover here, but Heartless is still gaining in, and Kicha to with that grenade. Well, they're trying to suppress team number 10, and Bold Boy, the backbone of team number 10, well, he's been taken down. Again, Heartless. Some shots have been taken there. Both teams are looking very intensive, and the intent is very clear to get that chicken dinner.
Absolutely, this grenade could actually get a knock in, get some HP chip damage on Arnav, who's extremely low, and now he gets his own grenade. Oh my goodness! AK is just down to slither of his HP, has to run away. Otherwise, he'll be taken down with that grenade, gets a reposition, and it's a 1v1. Who will get the win? That's going to be the question.
Oh!
It's going to be none other than AP. My goodness, what a play! What an insane play. It was so very close even till that last second. And one nade. I mean, he was getting that first aid ready for himself to get his HP back up, but only that slither of HP that was remaining was enough to get taken down by the nade near the vicinity. What a beautiful play coming in from their side.
Well, that was a great game. I think that grenade at the last moment, it was a topping on the cake. A great match will come to an end. The first match was really very beautiful. If I talk about, especially from the starting, well, Dr. Gaming and Alexa Gaming, they fought in Savorni. That fight started the first match, And I think after that we saw lots of fight. Scared. How was your experience?
I mean, absolutely amazing. At this point, just seeing it how it all went down, I really thought that maybe the team of Blind Mania might be able to get it because they were in a decent position and they were trying to get inside the zone, but Team 10 had absolutely other plans for them. They were like, no, you're not getting in this zone as long as we're standing here. And Roriko, the way he played as a spoiler, that was outworldly. You could not imagine that the last man standing could make it to top five and then could also play as
Yep.
a spoiler for a team that almost has a very good advantage. They had some good finish points and they also had, the vehicles to go in for those rotations inside that zone. But nonetheless, it's going to be Team Kitcha to OP winning out in the end. That one final 1v1 was the most important fight. How it was between just Team 10, Team 13 going at it each other. Last 1v1. And Kicha to OP were the ones who grabbed it away from Exynos Gaming. Now,
Yep.
yes, the chicken dinner is definitely going to give you 15 points, but you also know that second place is going to get 12. And if in case they've got more finish points, then they will be the ones who will bag in, the standings, who will get on top. But nonetheless, for this specific game, we did see Kicha to OP doing excellent job, just winning out in that last battle was the thing that they needed.
Well, I'll, you know, congratulate both the teams. If I talk about Kicha to OP or Exynos Gaming, well, both were really very fantastic, giving a tough time to each other. It was a neck-to-neck battle, especially at the end game
True.
when a one-on-one scenario with those grenades, with those throwables. They were really very impressive. The throwables were on point, hitting at those right areas. But it's always about winning, and the winning goes to Kicha to OP. So yeah, congratulate to that team. But guys, if you haven't hit that like button, we'll request you to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream, and do show your support because this is the first match. After this, the map of Miramar is coming in.
Absolutely. We've got three more matches remaining after that. And just as you
Yeah.
mentioned, we've got Miramar upcoming next. And after that, we've got Sanok. And the last will be Irangal yet again. But all of that just after this short break, guys. Make sure to stay tuned. And in the meantime, do download the BattleXO app because you do not want to miss the perks you're going to receive
Yeah.
with that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again with BattleXO Regional League South India, and again, my friend, my co-caster Scared Whitey is here, and my name will be Eagle. So Scared, this is the again second match of Miramar. But before moving to Miramar, I'll see the points table of the first match.
Absolutely. I mean, it was such a great match, especially, in game one, we saw so
Yep.
many plays being made out at, especially that last fight, wherein it was
Yeah.
a 1v1, a nade battle, and it just going in the way of Kichatogopi. That was a really solid play. But I really want to look at the standings that we have after that first game, because of course that is going to be extremely important. Once you move into game number two, that is the map of Miramar, you already know where you are in that standing, and grabbing that top four spot right now on is going to be important, because especially the top three, right? Because you
Yep.
know that the fourth one is always an uncertainty. You do not want to push things to the last game or to the last map. So you always want to have a very solid start. And looking at the way Kecha 2OP played, they've got a very solid one at that.
Well, I think Kicha 2OP and Xnos Gaming well both played really well, and as you said earlier, it all depends upon the finishes point as well. If Xnos Gaming have more finishes point than Kicha 2OP, then overall standing they can rank in the first position. So I think that will be also a great task for them as well. But the second match of Miramar, before moving to that match, we'll be watching the points table and match standings. Yeah, about the match standings of the last match. If I talk about the match standings, yes, Xnos Gaming. Yeah, as you said, scared. Well,
My
they have got
goodness.
18 finishes point. That was great. Very impressive 18 finishes point. Total 30 points into their side. Kicha 2OP, they got the chicken dinner, but 7 finishes point and 22 overall points in their backpack. JK Gaming, no finishes point, only place point, which will rank them at the third position. Neon X7, well, 6 place point, 4 finishes point, total 10 points. Mayur Gaming, 8 and 1, total 9. Paras Official, 4 plays, 4 finish, total 8. Alexa Gaming, 1 place, 6 finish, total 7. Raisu Gaming, 2 plays, 3 finishes, total 5 points, which will rank them at 8.
Absolutely. And I mean, once you look at the positions starting from ninth till 16th, you know that they're already on just 4 4 1 1 1 0 0 0. That's the point table.
Yep.
They were not even able to grab even a single point. If you talk about the finish, that did not work out for them. No positions as well. So you're looking at the last four teams in the table. You already know that since the start was not favoring them, they have to look forward to this game number two and the upcoming games as well. Because from the previous standings, we have already seen that the cutoff always remains around 45, right? 40, 43, 45. And
Yep.
if in case it's a very high scoring lobby, it can go a maximum of 50. So looking
Yep.
at that, if you see the position of Xnos Gaming, 30 points in just game one with 12 placement and 18 finishes. I mean, that is mind boggling. They've got 30 points solid start coming in, and that too in just match one. I really want to see how they are able to just snowball it into match two and match three, because once we're looking at the finishes, I know that someone from them should be the match MVP, as we're now going to see who actually was the MVP of that game. Because it can either be someone from Kicha to OP because they've got the chicken dinner, or it should be someone from Xnos Gaming, because 18 finishes is not something that you can do daily, right? You have to have that one solid game, and it's going to be none other than AKENC from Xnos Gaming. 6 finishes in his own hand, Eagle.
Well, those solo 6 finishes point, I think that is tremendous and very impressive. And if we look at the contribution for the team, it will be almost like a 33.33% of contribution in the team, because the team has got those 18 finishes point, in which 6 finishes point is secured by AKENC from Xnos Gaming. So yeah, a very great initiative by this team. But as I can see, they have got 30 overall points. So I guess they have got to start. What will be they doing in the next 3 matches? Because as you told, The cutoff will be around 40 to 50. For an average, we can take 45. So they just need 15 points. If they get 15 points in the second match, what will be they doing in the next two matches? This is really very insane to we're gonna see. Uh, they're gonna be really very aggressive, or they can't play also, because in the first, if I'm not wrong, in the second day, team Vadia, they came, they ruled in the first two matches, they played like something, they were really very aggressive,
Mhm.
and then again they didn't play the last two matches. So yeah, this may happen in today's day as well.
I mean, qualifying with just playing two matches is a feat in itself. You know that
Yeah,
you've got that scoring advantage and you've got that kill lead, finish point lead that you don't even feel the need of playing the last two. That's one thing, but I don't think so that's going to happen today as well. Because, yes, even though it's a 30-point game, just game number one, you already know there are still three more maps to go. Tides can turn like anything. It could be a high tide time for Exynos Gaming. Maybe it could turn into a low and they might drown even without any water in the surroundings. So these are the things that always tend to happen whenever you are playing these matches, especially when it's the last day and the last few maps. So yes, I would still say it's a close battle, but if we're looking at the teams who are at the bottom of the table, they need to have a solid game at this point. They need at least a chicken dinner, or if not, they need to end up in the top three position. And they also need to have some solid finish points. So they need some top fragging power as well as some good strategy and in-game IGLing if in case they want to stand a chance in that top four position. Otherwise, it probably would go downhill for them if in case they're not able to grab any single point in the second match as well. Because you obviously know, Eagle, that if you still haven't started anything, you're already 30 points, 20 points, or 15 points behind the other
yeah.
teams. So it's going to be problematic for them.
Well, of course, this could create some more problems as well. But if I talk about, yesterday match, yesterday day, well, Mitli Gaming, Ninja was gaming, and I guess one more team was there. Well, no, two, three teams were there who
Mhm.
couldn't perform. In the four matches, they got 0 point, which mean they came, they played, but they didn't gain anything. So I'm still worried about those teams today. Who will be the teams, who couldn't perform today as well? Because as I can see, there are a few teams they
Mhm.
haven't secured any point. They haven't opened in the game yet in the terms of finishes point or in the terms of players point. But today again, the question is same, that who will be the dominator and who will be, a little at suppressive position, not performing that good. But again, as far as I can see, uh, if I'm not wrong, Xnos Gaming and if I'm not Kicha 2OP Gaming, they have got a pretty good start. So yes, they have to maintain that start, especially Exynos Gaming. If they got one more good game, I think they're gonna be very lethal in the upcoming matches, especially in the map of Sanhok. It's a map of comeback, so yeah, some team may get a good comeback out of there.
Definitely. Map of Sanok, also known as Map of Comeback. Really love the fact and the idiom that you use right there. So, um, and there's one thing that I just want to point out is the fact that, yes, even if a team does not score any point, I feel that they gain the experience, and learning is the best way to improve.
Yeah,
You play, you learn, and you improve only to not repeat the mistakes that you made. So even if the team is not in that top four position, you know that all the remaining 12 teams have at least gained that experience. They know now what happens in these tournaments and how they can correct the mistakes that they've
yeah,
made. So just going through your own videos of the matches, realizing what were your mistakes is one of the most important step whenever you're talking about the
yeah,
improvement, right? And since you mentioned Sanok being the map of comeback, I feel the same as well. It's going to be the third map in the evening after this one. So this one is going to be Miramar. So whenever you're talking about Sanok, you already know that you will be seeing those long, tall grasses. Players would be going in for some quick rotations. But that's not the case in Miramar, right? You know that it's
yeah.
going to be a very huge map with many ridges as well. So we're going to quickly jump into the flight path and see as the plane moves in from the southeastern side towards the northwestern El Pozo. It's gonna go from that south side of El Pozo. So the teams who got their drop location towards water treatment or even Campo Militar El Azhar, they're gonna face some problems. Would have to probably pick up some vehicles along the way.
Well, yeah. If you look at the fly path, it's a diagonal, typical fly path coming from those southeastern parts of the regions. and ending towards those northwestern parts of the regions. But I could see some drop clash over Los Leones. Well, I call Los Leones as a small Sanok. But yes, if I talk about Pecado, the heart of Miramar, well, I can see it's one team in red going there. Even Hacienda del Patron, Crater Fields, La Corbria, Cruz del Valley, El Azhar, Junkyard and Minas General as well. Well, these are the region. Well, they'll be vacant right now. But Los Leones, after 3 days, today is the day where I could see a heavy drop clash in the Los Leones because today there are 3 to 4 teams. But in last few days, there's only one team or two teams. But yeah, again, Chumaghera, it's a tragic location
Hmm.
because every day, from past days, a tragedy happens there.
I mean, looking at the number of teams that have clustered there, it even now
Yeah.
seems to be very tragic for the ones who will be caught in those crossfires. But again, Los Leones is also a place where we'll see some skirmishes. No team have actually gone towards the northern side of the map. So most of them are just concentrated towards the south side as well as the southwestern side. But talking about southwest, northeast, all you have to do is just enter the Google Play Store or the App Store of your mobile, which might be in the eastern section or maybe the southern section of your widgets. So quickly click on it and download the BattleXO app, because once you download it, you'll have the access to joining these tournaments. You'll also be able to team up with multiple players to play competitive matches. And what's best thing to earn while playing the game, right? You've got the skills, utilize them, earn the money as well, and share it with as many people as you can. So download the BattleXO app right now, and who knows, maybe next time it's your team who we will be casting for. So do not waste any more time and jump into the App Store or the Play Store of your mobile real quick, or maybe just scan this code right on your screens, right? How long does it take? Maybe a few seconds. So quickly do that. And we're going to look at the teams as of now. Team number 18, close to team number 8. So Lit Loki has got the scar in his hand, though no ammo as of now. So we might possibly see a skirmish there, while also witnessing the position of team 15 near team 5. So all these teams, in the close proximity of each other, can definitely take these fights out on. But since it's the early game, early rounds, I don't think so. They would kind of want to take these fights early on. That's the main thing. Maybe they want to just play it safe. It's Miramar. You've got
Yeah,
a lot of time on your hand.
indeed. Well, team number 15. Well, four men standing,
Mm-hmm.
trying to search for, those good weapons, those good helmet vest, good defense system. Utilities will play a prior role. In your angle, if you don't have utilities, you can manage. But in Miramar, you need those smokes, especially those vehicles. Because if the zone is in open scenarios, you need those vehicles for the cover. You need those artificial smoke covers as well, and even grenades, molotovs will play a prior role because throwables are an important part. As I can see, both of the teams, team number 5 and 15, very close to each other. Mayur Gaming and Rezu Gaming. Well, they're waiting in. Talking about team number 4, Doctor Gaming. In the last match, as I remember, they were the first team to be getting
Oh,
eliminated. But Liquid, well, some tap shots of Mini 14. Well, this is a start of typical Miramar with Mini 14. And this is a positive start for us and audience because Mini 14 is what we love to see in Miramar.
and that is going to be the first pick, probably as well. Not yet, though. Kappa's
Yeah.
still surviving on a slither of HP. But the question is if his teammate would be able to reach him in time, and the answer is no. They've lost Kappa, and that's a very early on pick going in favor of Mayur Gaming. So that's one thing you mentioned about the tap picks from Mini 14. And yes, I would definitely agree with you on that point. You see a lot of these taps coming in because it's such a long range. Plus, you know that hitting those headshots, it's quite difficult because of the way the bullet, kind of dips. So they mostly prefer to go in with those taps. Maybe an M16A4, Mini 14, SKS, not that much. But
Yeah.
majorly people stick with the M4s, as we already know how much community loves that gun. Well, shout out to the ones who actually have the glacier skin though. In the meantime, 57 players remaining. Team alive, only 15. One of them have already been eliminated. And as you're looking at the position of Team 15, that is Raisu Gaming, got a couple of people around, will be moving backwards. Do not want to take this fight anymore with the members of Mayur Gaming. They're like, all right, they've got one pick from us. It's time to retreat back. We'll be hitting on our rotations. As of course, most of them are inside the zone, still would want to have a better positioning, especially looking at the amount of ridges and the height advantage that you can grab. I think so. Getting a better position in the zone is important.
Of course, the position inside the zone is really very important. And there you go again. The pop-up is here, guys. If you haven't scanned yet, what are you doing? And why are you doing? If you are a gaming enthusiast in BGMI, if you want to make a career out of esports, well, this is a platform. This is a stage provided by Esports Exo. You just need to scan. You just need to try it once. At least you can try. You know, I have downloaded. I am trying. Even Scared has downloaded. If you haven't, he'll do. But
Yep.
okay, grows up place. He's trying to get some tap shots. Okay, okay, okay. Well, he's been taken down. Oh my god.
Wow.
Rhino Machine OP.
Okay.
It's a new flank coming in. Okay, M416 as you said. The favorites. M416 with 3x, the best combination coming in the play. 3 finishes point. Well, height advantage will always play a prior role in Miramar. Team number 18, they are down the ground. Having a great area by team number 17. It's looking like a terrific trio fight. Well, there are 3 different teams, and even the teams wouldn't know that how many teams are here.
Now, here's the thing, right? Miramar, yes, definitely. First of all, we're going to quickly witness the slam that's coming in actually, because it does seem to be a very precarious position for Destro. Needs to survive. Maybe can play a spoiler up against 4 players from Team Engineer. The position has been noted. Try to go in for a spray down. Groza plays still holding strong. Half of his HP still there. And that's going to be all 4 people trying to rush onto him. Let's see if Restro actually survives that, because all the rooms are being checked one after the other. And now, by the process of elimination, they probably have an idea where he would be. Yep, they do have an idea. He might be outside this wall. That's exactly where he is. As he goes out of the ball, tries to go in for the spray down. But after 2 people coming in, he's still surviving behind that box. Waits for them to
Oh,
reload. Tries to get the
Groza!
spray down, but a drop shot from Groza plays is enough to take him down. And as the last man standing will fall down onto his knees and only to become a crate. That is a very solid play coming in from Team Engineer. A good slam, good knowledge, and good information slowly creeping their way forwards, and now also getting their foot in that kill points place. So, yeah, what I wanted to mention was the fact that you always see most of these teams, separated, players separated from each other. And in terms of separation, I actually mean spread out. You always see them holding different hills, having 4 different
Yeah.
views over one specific location. So I think so that guerrilla warfare type of tactic is also really important in Miramar. You've got so many hills, so many ridges. You can really utilize them. And for now, I think so. What better utilization could be by Mad Logan is of that grenade. He can probably throw a couple of them out there in the open. Maybe could get a lucky frag out.
Well, as you said about, the split gameplay, the separation gameplay, sometimes it may be very fruitful, but sometimes it may be very dangerous because if you're alone, any team can, come and just show the way towards the lobby. So yeah, you should be prepared for that as well. You should have a plan A and plan B both. But looking at the current scenario, team number 6 trying to judge the players out. Team number 9 having great weapons. As I can see in team number 9, all of them are having an AKM in their hand, which is very surprising because using AKM in Miramar, I think with the M416 is a good combination, but with some, MP45 or with the micro Uzi or a DPS is very challenging. But talking about the drop one, it's a MG3 light machine gun with level 3 helmet, vest, and a backpack, and a quick draw extended magazine as well. So yeah, a pretty good chance to be a little overpowered in this match because these weapon give you some extra powers, give you some extra power feeling and extra powers as well.
That's one of the reason why they always come in the drop because yes, of course, as compared to all the other weapons, they pack a punch, right? But
Yeah,
again, talking about the situation of the match, we still got 53 players alive and 14 teams remaining. So two of them have already been eliminated. So two more, and then we'll be heading into those positional points positions. So most of these teams will be hitting in on with their rotations. And I really want to see where this actually ends up. As of now, a revival going to be coming in. Legend will be saved, but that's again only for now. He was out in the open. So I really would want to put light on the fact that you pointed out. If you play in a spread out position, you can be
yeah,
picked off by other teams. They could come in, they could slam your one player, and boom, no one would actually be around to provide the cover or maybe to give the revive. So that's a very solid point to note down because yes, when there are quite a lot of teams remaining, you would want to stick together because as in one movie we heard apes strong together. I really just wanted to make that reference. No pun intended. Now the thing is, all these players, when you are together, you always have each other's backs. You can clear those angles, and if in case there's someone trying to play a
yeah,
third party, you always have a couple of people watching that angle as well,
yeah.
making sure that you have them in your aim. So that is also a very solid point. But again, both of these situations have their perks as well as their disadvantages side by side. So all things considered, I think so. If there are a lot of teams around you, it's better to play in a compact position wherein you can give cover to each one.
Indeed. Well, as you said, everything has a perk and a disadvantage as well, but there are perks of playing in a split as well, because if you're in a split you can target your enemies from different locations. Okay, you have a different area, a different position from where you can see, you have a different angle, you can attack from different region, and it's a building of a trap. If you are, if you surround the opponents, if you surround your enemies from a 360-degree or in a semicircle or in a hexagon, it will be very difficult for them to come out from there. But again, if any other team comes in the play, it is always difficult. It'll be like a third party or fourth party. But very soon, guys, we'll be coming up with the next zone formation. And what will be your, call about the next zone formation? Well, I think it will move towards some northern parts of the regions.
Maybe central? No, it's actually
Oh,
entirely southern part of the map. So Los Leones, just a little bit of it inside the zone. Generals, but most of it is, just that open area with those ridges, a few compounds. Now, securing the compounds is going to be detrimental for that specific team as well. Because, yes, it gives you some hard cover, but it can also be spammed down with those nades, and every other team would just know your position. So, if in case your back is open, your opponents will not waste even a single second and they will capitalize on the fact that you're not looking at them. So, again, a double-edged sword, but if in case there are some solid compounds just like the houses that we are seeing, it's a very solid position to keep a hold on, and since you're already in the zone, you do not have to worry about getting any kind of damage in. All you have to worry about is the players watching you.
well, yes. If I talk about the current scenarios, team number 4 and team number 15 watching each other, trying to initiate the fight. Shots are taken down.
Uh-huh.
Skarl with that AKM, a great combination for that close range and mid range. Well, they must have a sniper in the team. Well, again, Legend is having a DBS, a Legend with a legendary gun. You have 40 seconds to
That is
come in the
true.
zone. But there you go. I think Heartless is
There's
spotting the place down.
still got much more than sufficient time, and yeah, the position's just being held on, a few more sprays here and there. But at the end of the day, the question lies, since you already have 14 teams alive and you know that it's going to be the fourth zone coming in, what's going to go through your mind? Because you can either play on the edges of the zone or you can play in the center of the zone. Playing outside it definitely is not advisable for either of them. And if you're looking
Yep.
to play in that center, in those hardcover positions, you should expect that there would be at least a couple of more teams out there who would have the same idea. and who would want to probably take that space. Now, I really love the fact that Heartless Vinios is actually moving in with his vehicle, trying to scout out the area and trying to figure out the position of any of his opponents. If he, sustains a few shots, he'll quickly turn back and go back to his own team. Or if in case it's not allowed, he would have that hard cover built in. But he's just making sure that the area is clear so that there's
Yeah,
no third party coming in for his team.
indeed. Well, every team is coming with some different strategies. Every individual team is having a different strategies of late rotation or coming up early in the zone. But yes, again, in Miramar, what I believe, if you come early, it's very good. But if you come late, it's very difficult because the rotations plays a very vital role in the game, especially in this map, because it always challenges you. Those ridges, those dips, especially those vehicles, it always challenges you in a while. You know, the speed of the
True.
vehicle, the health of the vehicle is always a tougher task to deal with, because whenever you are moving in, if any enemy spots you, you know, some amazing shots are taken by the enemies, and then again, you must be taken down. Your vehicle must be taken down. If you're lucky, you can be saved. But if your vehicle is taken down, the rotation is almost, you know, you're gone. And in the map of Miramar, a player without a vehicle is a paralyzed player, what I believe. Because without a vehicle, I don't think you can play Miramar for a longer time. Your survival will not work for a longer time.
Yes, that is true. Because even if you're in Sanhok, you know that you can cover the distance with your foot. But
Yeah.
in Miramar, that's not really possible. You'll have a couple of teams watching that one specific angle. Plus, when it's the fourth zone, you know that it's not just inside the zone that you have to worry about. It's also the entirety of area that is inside the blue zone. Because most of the teams right now, they're in that one specific area. They do not want to head inside that white line, and they also just want to stay inside the blue one. So that is the part that is the most dangerous. The moment you decide you want to get inside the zone, you would have to deal with two of these teams. One that's camping outside and the one that's already in. But talking about the one who's in, Kecha2OP gets another pick. And in the meantime, it's Team Mystic that's probably taking that skirmish against team number 13, and he did not anticipate it. Arnav had absolutely no idea where the shots actually came in from. Kicha2OP still standing on his feet. Just a couple of people remaining from his own team. 61 players alive, and that's going to be another spray down coming in from Mayur Gaming. The man himself is now out in the open, taking command, trying to figure out an opening for his team to jump in. There are three teams around each other, so they would
Okay,
have to
Mayur
worry about the
Gaming.
flanks as well as the third party.
Well, that was a great grenade. He has got that opening knock, but he's trying to get that finish point. Aim Lone X. Well, player 69, Lone Wolf, moving in. The player is
Ooh.
knocked, and as far as I can see, Mayur Gaming, well, they have decided to back off from the fight, and they're moving inside the zone. And a new fight, meanwhile, is coming in. But again, Mayur Gaming, well, they were very smart. They went for the zone, and now
Oh,
they are challenging
there.
team number 18. Some amazing shots.
Oh,
Okay,
ho,
that was
ho,
a great
ho,
start.
ho.
But Neon X players, meanwhile, they're also back in action. Different teams, different fights. And this is the chaos of stage 5, zone 5. And yes, Govalan is moving between those smokes. Well, let's see, will that grenade make some connection or not?
He need to.
Oh,
He need to get those connects in. He actually does manage to get a good knockout. But in the meantime, he needs to get those finish points in as well. He already has three finishes. His team has three finishes, my bad. And that's already Bold Boy with two of them. He's knocked down, he's down on his knees, so res needs to be given too. But Nova is near him, and they already know that there's Team 12 just below them. So they're going in with that fire inside those smokes, near the vehicles. Oh, he actually managed to get a knock and finish. That is a very solid pick coming in. Only 158 bullets remaining in his magazine. He needs to take care of those bullets as well, because it's only the fifth zone. You still have a couple of them remaining. They're going for the engage, trying to go and figure out where these players are. They should have an idea of at least one of them. That's going to be the contact being made. Only 4 bullets
reload.
remaining.
Oh,
Finishes the vehicle. Oh my goodness! That is a very solid pick coming in. And this seems to be so very bad for their side as only Bold Boy remain. And we still have team number 12 standing strong. Katsi Gaming. We've got a couple of members remaining. Bold Boy taking a few shots, but that's only what's gonna connect. And everyone now needs to figure out one vehicle to go back inside the zone for. Just look at that. Mayur Gaming. He actually has 5 finishes in his name. That is outworldly and outrageous.
Well, I guess that was a great fight. Very impressive. But it was really very unlucky with those vehicle explosion and Matt Logan. Well, one more vehicle explosion. Some new players has been taken down. 10 teams, 23 players on an average. Each team will have at least 2 to 3 players into their side. But some revivals must be given. Their Mad Mine has been taken down. And there you go again. He's having a great angle. Well, again, one knock. He's going for the second one. Really able to do that. He's trying to finish him off. Getting some great shots there. Well, that drop will not allow you for a longer time cover. He's trying his best. Back you. Well, I think now
I thought he should be able to take them down at least.
Well, I guess if you do a smoke cover there, yeah, finally those artificial smoke cover will allow them to get that revival, but not allow them to come inside the zone.
One lucky shot is all they need. And again, we were seeing 14 teams remaining.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 8. We've got the top 8 in front of us and only 19 players. Look at that. Position of team 14 is literally perfect. Just outside the zone. They can jump inside real quickly. But again, OP remaining with Rabbit, the last 2 members of their own team, can definitely turn the tides around. We know their potential. We know the potential of every player in this lobby. And that's already a spray down going in. The members of Team 14 now have to give res. So we'll have to hold on for their aggression a little bit longer. As now the blue zone's gonna hit. We'll be seeing them grabbing the vehicles. Does Rabbit even have enough time to go inside the zone? That's the question. As AG's vehicle taking heavy fire and it's almost down. He tries to jump out, but only ends up in the crosshair of his opponent. Rabbit is
Oh my
that
god.
HP. Just don't stop. Don't stop. He actually stopped right in the place where already one team is camping. He's under them. My goodness. In just one
Very brilliant.
compound, you can see at least 3 teams.
Well, right now, Kichu is looking very unlucky. Legend. With that legendary tempo, it's looking like a 1v2. Will he able to do that? Yes! He did that. He did that very fluently. And he took the damage of only 10 HP. That was really very quick. Snapping in the game. But THC, assets. He is moving with those utilities. Grenades onto the point. If that grenade makes a connection, will make a very big difference. They can take those reds.
Yeah, it will.
As far as I can see. If you can see, team number 14 are totally inside the zone and they have covered the zone in a split of 2v2. And what you were talking about a split, and that split will favor them right now. If they are able to hold the position very rightly without doing any mistake, I think this game is theirs. The chicken is theirs. There are 4 men standing, having 7 finishers point. Each and every ingredient which is required to win the game is in the favor of team number 14.
Absolutely, and if they could grab a few more finish points right now, that's extremely good for their side because they were in the bottom of the table. And again, there's going to be 5 being taken out next as low on HP. That could be 1 point being stolen. I guess so. That probably is the case. As already it's down to the last 2 teams remaining. It's a 3v4. HP is very low, and it's going to go in favor of Boom Bam Vigil as they win it out. Pick them off one after the other and secure the chicken dinner for their side.
Well, a great game. You were talking about the guerrilla warfare, and finally they what did. I think they listened to your voice somehow. But again, a great game, a great strategy. The use of man advantage in the end zone was really very impressive. A 2v2 split. They were not in a one-on-one on split, but yeah, they were in a 2v2 split, holding those 2 regions, which were playing a X factor in that game. Holding those 2 regions, especially inside the zone. I think that was really very great, and no mistakes, no mistakes. Everything was really very great.
Absolutely. It is perfect, down to the last minute detail. Just
Yeah,
perfect. That is the name of the game by Boom Bam. And they really stood up to their name, right? They
yeah,
really did Boom Bam in the entire lobby after all, getting
yeah,
somewhere around 10 to 11 finishes. I mean, that is really well played out. Now, since the starting, we saw that it was not a very aggressive map. It was very slow indeed. Both the
yeah,
every single team just tried to play as safe as possible. They just wanted to play in for that position, and they knew that once the zone will crash, teams will come around each other. And most of the fights
yeah.
were actually outside the zone. They were not even inside. They were outside the zone. So what I think now for Sandhawk and the last Erangel map is the fact that teams should realize that securing the place inside the zone is the name of the game, because that is exactly what has been happening since the previous two games. Yes, in the game number one where Erangel Kichatu OP was the one who won it for his team. They were the ones who entered the zone late, but still they were almost near that zone's
Yeah.
edge. So I think so that kind of gameplay could work out, but at the end of the day, it's just that who utilizes the zone better. And in this situation, it was Boom Bam.
Well, of course, Boom Bam played. They justified the name, but here I'll correct you. In the first 3 days we were doing the same thing. Now,
Hmm.
the players were doing the same thing. The first two matches were really very attentive. They were trying to get the zone, but the last two matches, again, you can't tell that what will happen. Will the player go for the zone, or will
True.
they go very aggressive for those finishes point? Because now even you have to keep the balance, because the team, if I talk about Boom Bam, Bigil, Abhijil, or if I talk about Kadam OP or Mayur Gaming, or even Xnos Gaming, they played really well in the first two matches. So now they have a chance to be aggressive, to learn more from this tournament, to learn from more this stage. So
Absolutely.
yeah, they can be aggressive. They can't play inside the zone every time. They can come out. They can suppress other players, other teams, and other teams may have a chance to get the zone. So yeah, you never know what will be happening in the last two matches. But yeah, from the past days, from my experience, I can tell it will be a table turning performance in the last two matches again.
I mean, that's one thing that you're speaking with the experience, right? That the last
Yeah.
two games could turn the entire table around. And I would agree on to that fact, because a wounded lion is the one that is most dangerous. And all the teams who are not yet in top four are the ones who are those wounded lions. So we'll definitely see something happening. But before that, we'll be heading into a short break. So, guys, make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. BattleXO presents Regional South India League, and you are witnessing the next amazing day wherein Group D teams are battling it
Yeah,
out, only to figure out the top four who would then qualify for the grand finals. And it is just the Creators League. We still have one more after this, and of course, to come, to accompany you with that. We have Eagle as well as me scared yet. My
yeah.
goodness, the fumbling is just not stopping because of the crazy plays that I've been witnessing.
Well, of course, the crazy game in the game. Okay, the crazy game in the events are really, really very fantastic. But if I talk about the last match and the upcoming match, the last match is was of Miramar and the upcoming match is of Sanok. But
Hmm.
if you talk about the point standings, match standings of the last match, what is your guess that which team will be on the tabletop? Are there any guesses? Well, as we all know, Boom Bam Bijil got the winner for our chicken dinner, so there's a high chance that may they get the first position. But if any other team is having that, finishers point, they can always replace them as well.
That is true. Again, after the game number one, we saw Exynos with 30 point, a massive game for them. But again, in the next match, we did see a good comeback coming in from Boom Bam. Now, yes, not a massive 30-point game, but they still at least had 25 to 27 points, if I'm not wrong. So maybe not the table toppers, but Exynos should be in the top three as of now. Just on the back of that game number one,
Yep.
in which they secured those massive 30 points. But if you're talking about the other teams, Boom Bam, they should probably make an entry in the top five, and they have to continue this performance if they want to get in that top four. Now, even I'm very excited to see the table standings, which will be right in front of us in a few minutes. In the meantime, we can definitely make our guesses, right? We can place our bets on. And since we're already talking about money, one of the best way to earn money is by downloading the BattleXO application. You download it, you register
Yeah.
yourself in it. You can also participate in the tournaments. And if you are alone, you're solo, do not worry, we've got your back. You can team up with other people, you can make your own team, and you can participate in these tournaments. And who knows, you'd be the next team for which Eagle would be in the casting desk praising them for. So, and it can always happen. So make sure to download the Battle Exo application. Now, talking about the previous game. So we did see that it was a very slow paced game right from the beginning. We saw there were at least 14 teams remaining when it was actually the fifth zone. So you know that
Yeah.
everyone knew the importance of those positions. They did not want to go in for some early skirmishes. So this kind of gameplay is the one that we used to see a couple of years back in the PMGC as well, in those global championships, wherein
Yeah.
teams prioritized slow gameplay and the positions. However, I personally think that now, even you mentioned it just before the previous game, that in the last two games, we'll see more kill oriented playstyle from these teams. So, I mean, which teams do you expect would be switching their gears in the next two maps?
Well, as far as I have seen the first two matches. If I talk about Doctor Gaming, they got eliminated very early in the first match, which means they were trying for those
Mhm.
finishes point. They were very aggressive. They were trying to be very aggressive, but anyhow, uh, they were very unlucky and they got eliminated. Even in the second match, we saw Doctor Gaming getting
Mhm.
eliminated at those mid phases. So yeah, if they are not going to do in the third match, I think they can't get a comeback in the in this particular event or for the qualification of semi-finals. So yeah, they have to get a comeback in third match or fourth match, because this is the last time, this is the last game, I'll say, because you can't rely really on the fourth match, because one match will not get you the qualification. You have to work on the two matches. Even Sanok is the map of comeback. As we all know, you can go for those heal battles, because yesterday we saw it was leader OP who was doing heal battle with those insane 42 first aids, 42 first aids in those fifth zone. From those seventh zone, almost you secured, if I'm not wrong, second position. So if you go with those heal battles, it will always help you, or you have to be very, very aggressive with your finishers point. Otherwise, you'll get the place point as well.
Yes, absolutely. So you have to make sure that there are a lot of check boxes that you need to tick. But at the end of the day, it will all come down to the amount of finish points that you have. If you've got some decent amount of finish
Yeah.
points, let's just say 10 to 12 of them, and you're already in the top five, you know that you've secured a very solid position. So in the previous game, just like how Boom Bam managed to grab a 25-point game, even in this one, I think so the stakes would be even higher because especially talking about the ones who are not at all in the top 8 position, they have a very steep uphill climb. They know that it's going to be extremely difficult. And if in case there's any team that have yet to secure a single point, I think so it could become almost impossible for them unless they're able to bring out 2 games back to back with at least 30 points. Or if not 30, then at least 25 points. Because you know that in every single group, the stakes have been growing, right? In the previous one, the cutoff was literally 43. And we already saw that Team Salman that played really well only were left behind by 3 points. They themselves had 40 points, and the one that actually qualified was the team which had 43. So just 3 more kills, and they might have changed a few things. But for now, we're going to see what are the changes in the rankings. As oh my goodness, that's the match standings though. So it's Boom Bam with 25 points in the entire game, 15 placement points and 10 finish points, while Mayur Gaming with 8 placement points, but they've got 12 finishes. So they ended up being in a second position in the previous match with a total of 20 points.
Well, Mayo Gaming got 20 points into their backpack. Game Boy 15 with those 3 finishes point into the backpack. They were more, you know, place oriented, position point oriented. Rezu Gaming again only 3 finishes point and 10 place point overall 13. A points Xnos Gaming. Well, this was not a good game, but we can say it was an average one because they secured 8 overall points in this game. So yes, if they have got 8 in this game and 30 in the last game, it is almost 38. We'll be watching the overall standing as well in few minutes, but Alexa Gaming 7 into their side with 6 place point and 1 finish point, and at the same time Katzi Gaming 5 total with 8th position. And if we talk about the players, teams ranking from 9 to 16, they have got 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 and 0, which is, I don't think this will affect a lot to the players or the teams, because you have to gain the number in double digits.
Yes, and we're going to quickly move to the total standings, overall standings of the teams. We'll see which one is actually at the top because everyone's waiting to jump inside the game. And it's again, Exynos Gaming still topping the tables with 38, but Mayura Gaming are just behind them, trailing very quickly with 29. Boom Bam with 23. While Kecha 2OP and Raizu Gaming 24 and 18. So these are the 5 teams that we need to watch out for. Game Boy, yes, on 16 and Alexa on 14 can definitely turn ties around. But we're going to quickly jump inside the game as well, as we will see in the map of Sanok what is going to be the plane path. And it has been a pretty center oriented, where you know that it's Sanok, right? So even if the plane goes from southern end to northeastern end, it is you can literally jump to Hatin as well, no matter where you are. But the zone, it seems that the zone actually, the safe zone has some kind of obsession with being on the southern side of the map, because even in this one we see a south oriented zone.
Well, what I see, the fly path doesn't matter a lot in Sanok because it's a small map. You can go wherever you want from wherever you go. But yeah, well, this is the region. Well, we take him, Neon X Rorica. He is roaring, and the name is just Fang that played. But that play by John, that was really very beautiful and very smart at the same time. EMP45 is playing a great role here in the hands of Rorica. But he's again moving in a great cover fire. Neon X Midas, if I talk about, he's been taking down the backbone of the team. Thakur, the opponent is trying to jump in from those windows, and there you go. You'll be punished. Rorica again, very smart, going for the 1v3. Yes, he has taken 3 players down. Searching for the last one, if I'm not wrong. The Onyx players, they're looking very weak. Thakur Ojil being eliminated, but people are turning in. Rorica, Thakur has been taken down. This last player, who is he? It's WGT trying to get them out of this game. But anyhow, Neonix, they managed. They managed to conquer bootcamp. They got 4 finishes point and on top 14 teams as well. But I thought for a while that was a table turning performance at the same time.
Even for a second I thought that maybe For some reason, Castro Gaming might throw this away. There was just one person remaining, and he was actually able to take down one of their members and also give a knock to the other one and get remaining ones in a low HP. But still, nonetheless, boot camp is definitely theirs now. So Castro will be the one who'll be having some solid amount of loot when they'll be heading into the next zone and into the further part of this game. But nonetheless, they've already secured 4 finishes. So that's one solid thing that's going in their favor. But what could go in your favor is the fact that if you download the BattleXO app, you would be able to join in these tournaments as well. Register yourself, register your team, and tune in to find out the next tournament dates. Register yourself and play in the tournaments. Who knows, maybe we'll be casting for you next time. And there's also this one thing, even if you do not have your own team, do not worry, we've got your back, because once you register, you can also try and find teams, and once you do that, you can play with them, get the chemistry set in, and tune in for battling it out in maybe another tournament. So make sure to download the BattleXO app right now from Google Play Store or your App Store. Both of them works. So it doesn't matter if you use iPhone or an Android, you will have the access to that. Now, quickly jumping towards the game, as we've been talking about access, having access to the bootcamp loot definitely gives you a very good head start, don't you think?
Well, indeed. If I talk about few more regions, cow looking very silent, not lots of noise, but as I can see, one of the team is coming here. It's team number 6. It's Paras official, and fight may develop here. And the way they came, I'm thinking that they knew that someone is here and they are coming in. They're coming in with those throwables. Team number 7, Katamopi, they're waiting. Very silent, and there you go. The shots are being taken on the feet. Well, this must be very surprising for Aura. And team number 6, they really need to be very sharp and very alert right now, because they didn't know about the position of team number 7. And there you go. Dada is live. He's trying to get those opening knocks. Oops, Ethan. He has been taken down. The moment of surprise. And we can see some lags over there as well in players' devices. But revival, well, this is very necessary.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I guess you will be in difficulty if you go for that revival.
Definitely, but still, as of now, looking at the position of Paris official in the standings, they still need a few more points, right? So they have to get a very good scoring game. They already have 2 finishes, and there are 2 more people near them, so they can definitely grab those 2 ones as well, and somehow get a better positioning in that table. Because they also have to get a chicken dinner in order to get into that top 3 spot, wherein already we're seeing a couple of teams near the 40-point mark. Nonetheless, in Cow, we're seeing the engage between these teams, a possibility of a skirmish. First team Paras and Kadamopi, both of them just so very close to each other. And one of the other locations that I find really interesting apart from bootcamp is Paradise, because you've got a very solid amount of loot there as well. Meanwhile, we'll talk about that later, as already an engage seems to be going in place. Getting far official,
Oh,
getting one person knocked out,
Pepper.
quickly trying to equalize the numbers. Yes, and that's going to be the rundown coming in.
DBS.
2v1 situation. A great way to rush on to them. And they've already lost one of their members. Now the question is, will Chris decide to give the revive, or will try to take the fight? He decides to go for the rev. Both of these teams now making sure that their own person is revived, will get the HP back up. As already another spray down coming in. Kadamopi already have 4 more people remaining. One of them finally falls down. Zadu is not able to survive, will be taken down. Some good spray coming in from Janil, who already has noted down the position of other players too. Chris trying to get into a decent position. They are in the blue zone. Healing is going to matter a lot, in which I don't think so. They all have a very solid advantage. They've just got a few painkillers, maybe a couple of first aids at maximum. So these fights are going to be really important. Janil again just securing that
Yeah.
loot, will get some painkiller, making sure that he does not lose a lot of HP. And your favorite gun, DBS, is in his hands. So if in case Kadamovi decide to rush on him, that might not be a good decision, and they'll be welcomed with some shotgun shells.
Well, I guess they have to be very clear with the zone as well because the zone shrink is coming in. You don't have a lot of time left out here. And if I look towards the zone, it's totally shifted towards the southern parts of the region. And Cow is at those northern parts of the region. And to make them realize, I'll tell that there's no vehicle available in Miramar. There's vehicle available, but if you're lucky, you will get that. It depends upon your luck. But you'll not get vehicle very often like Erangel or Miramar because in Sanok, it's very difficult to find a vehicle and you have to move inside a zone. You have to back off into this fight. Or you have to take the fight very early. But those DBS versus
Mhm.
M416, it was really very quick with those DBS shots. Stupid Grish has been taken down. Janalogy coming up with that grenade. I think this grenade can make some difference
It's a
if
very
it
good
is placed on
one.
the right point. Yes! Yes, it's a good one. Ithan has been taken down. Sarang White is there coming for that revival. Well, Sarang is having a grenade in his hand. He's coming with those 3 grenades. Well, there you go. Janil, he's done. He's done. He's taking care of those points. One, but again,
Oh!
TBS. This is changing the game. Auravex, the lone ninja survive for the team. It's looking like a 1v2. Team number 7, they're searching. They're hunting for him. And back to having a DBS. You still have a chance to clutch it out. But oh, this will not make a connection. EMP45 meta. Well, they'll get that pick. And finally, team number 7, which is Katam OP. They will win their drop clash with those 4 finishers pointing to their favor and get a good positive start from this match.
Absolutely. But again, they've lost 2 people from their own squadron, so just gonna run in with that duo. And in the meantime, another skirmish happening. It's not just a 1v1. I mean, there are quite a few teams near each other. Nonetheless, that nade could actually be detrimental. Yes, it is. It is a very solid nade, gets some good damage, but I think so the kill was actually stolen because now it seems that that's the third party has been perfect by Kicha 2 OP team as they already have to just deal with 2 people. And look at that rush coming in.
Oh,
Rhino somehow trying to survive. Gets one
oh,
dog. Will be taken down from the other side as there are 2 more directions he needs to watch out for. And he can't watch any of them. Grows a place. DBS. He wasn't looking at the right place. And that's Kicha 2 OP coming out at clutch, winning after the third party. That's a very solid third party coming in. But in the meantime, looking at the angle of Team Mayur Gaming, they'll be taking some fire in from none other than Kecha to OP. But
but yes, 8 teams, 25 players. And the new zone formation is on the go. And again, with us, it's scared yet.
thank you for that. And yes, just as you mentioned, there was a small technical issue, but it's been fixed up. And in the meantime, we'll be witnessing the current scenario of the game as again we're seeing team number 4